Alrighty guys, so I was testing out all the fluids on Green Bean, and he's good on oil, but this is his, this is the transmission fluid checker here, and it's got all this lovely rust on it. Look at that. It's kind of hard to see. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. But yeah, it's got all kinds of rust and whatnot on there. Look at that. Yeah, so we're going to clean that off before we stick this thing back in there. That makes me feel real good, let me tell you. But yeah, we're going to try and clean that off. I might have to look and see if I can find a new one. But that ain't brilliant. That is definitely not what you want to see there. That is not good. So we will probably use a little bit of super clean on there to kind of help clean it off. We'll make sure we wash it off, rinse it off, wipe it off and all that. But yeah, not what I want to see. That ain't good. So we're gonna put some work on that. Alright guys, so it's not, I'll probably have to look for a new one either way, but at least now I can put this back in and it's not flaking off rust, which is rather nice, because that's what was going on. So luckily, the rest of it looks pretty good, but we'll have to get a new one of these here in a bit. But yeah, that was rather interesting, something I hadn't seen before. So anyways, we will get a new one of these ordered at some point, and yeah, that's lovely. So anyways, something to check. Rusting transmission fluid checker, whatever you call this thing. I can't remember what it's called. I just know it. I check my transmission fluid with it. That's what I do. So anyways, that's a lot cleaner than it was. Wiped it off, got the super clean off of there. Yeah, that is a lot better than the flaking nonsense that it was before. So that's nice. Alright, so luckily oil looked good. Check on our coolant here as well, but fluid on the transmission looked good, which is nice. Yep, got coolant. Coolant looks good, and you can see it right there, so that's nice. But yeah, we'll probably need to get a new one of those. I cannot get this thing to go back on now. There it goes. Alright, that's back in. Seems like there's one other thing you can check. Oh yeah, my brake fluid, and that looks like it is nice and full, so we're good on that as well. Alright, wanted to double check that stuff, and looks like we're good, but yeah, I will have to find myself a new one of those, because if it's flaking and rusting in there, that's not going to be good to get into the transmission, so we do not want that. So we're going to have to go order a new one here at some point. Luckily, we're not doing a ton of heavy-duty driving with it, so that's nice, but still, fun. Yeah, lots of fun. But anyway, so check your dipsticks, just in case, because they might be rusting in there. That's something that I never thought of. So, fun. Yeah, lots of fun. So, we'll have to keep an eyeball on that and see if I can find a new one. Alright, next project of the Green Bean. We're going to work on this hinge. Now you come over here. This hinge looks really good. A little bit of rust on the pop-up, but we're not going to work on him today. But we are going to work on this boy, because he's starting to get a bit rusty. So we're going to take a trim off, we're going to kind of clean him up a little bit, probably use some super clean, get the wire brush in there, do a little extra cleaning, and then once we're done with that, we're going to let that dry off, blow it off, get all the extra dust and whatnot off of it, and then we're going to use some wonderful undercoating paint, which is supposed to be rust resistant, a little bit on the rubbery side, and so that should help keep this from totally going downhill, which is what we wanted to do. We wanted to keep working. So that's the whole thing we're going to do today. Alright, so there you go. You can kind of see it's a little less on the crusty side, which is what I was working on. So it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than what it was. So I've got to come back and do a spray off with air hose, make sure it's nice and dry before we spray that. Had to rinse it off, obviously, because we use super clean, so don't want that sitting on there and then putting paint on top of that. That's not going to work out so good. So we will come back and do a nice spray off with the air hose here in a bit, let that dry, and go do some other work. But yeah, we should be able to get that sprayed and at least reduce how fast this is transpiring. You can see there's a big rust chunk out of there. So luckily this side looks really good, but yeah, definitely want to get that coated so we can slow that process down so that we don't have to replace this too soon. Definitely don't want to do that. So we'll get that sprayed down here in a bit. Coming all the way to the back, what we got is we got a tow hitch, 2-inch drop tow hitch right there that we can use. That's from Reese Towpower, 2-inch, 6,000 pound capacity, 1-inch mounting hole. So we got that. It did come with a whatever you want to call that thing there, the attacher that keeps it on there. I forget the exact what it is, but anyways, it had one of those. But we also got one of these. So this is one that comes with a lock, and we will look in the little container here and see what that's called here. It is a CZZ Auto Hitch Receiver. So that's what that is. And then along with that, so we'll link all this. So we got a CC Auto Hitch Receiver. We also got the Hopkins Towing Solutions. That's a 7-blade to 4-flat power hookup, so you plug in simple smart lights and all that, so you can use that. And of course we got the Reese Towpower 2-inch drop hitch, so that's really easy. So luckily got a nice little lock right here. It goes onto the other side like so, which is really nice. And then you lock it from right there. You can cover it back up too, so that's nice. We got that. And then we get our nice little plug-in here, so that's pretty cool. And we can cover this back up, which we will, because I don't have anything to hook it up to at the moment. So we can leave that nice and plugged up like that, and we shouldn't have any draw, I would imagine. So we'll find out here in just a second. But nice. Alrighty, let's get down below. So we're using our beautiful Pro Lift work mat here. Put our knee down and take a look underneath what we got. Alrighty, so luckily, spare tire right there. Really, really nice looking spare tire. Really good tread, actually. I think some good tread. Looking under, there's a lot of dust, like almost like Georgia clay dust is what I'm seeing. So I guess we wouldn't have to necessarily have this plugged in if we didn't need to. I think this goes in this mess. We'll find out. Not going like this. Trying to figure out how it goes in. Should plug in at some point, somehow. It doesn't seem to want to go in. Can't see. Oh, I see the plug now. Goes in the other way. That's why we're having so much difficulty. Oh, come on. Alright, hold on. I must resume the laying on the ground position. Alright. Alright, let's take a look at this a little bit more from below. It should. Can't tell if it's plugged in or not. I think it is. Can't quite tell if it's plugged in or not all the way. Feels sturdy. Doesn't feel like it's coming out, so I think we're plugged in all the way. So there's that right there. Look at that. That's actually a really nice looking tire and wheel down there. Well, good. Definitely need new suspension. We're just going to say that right now. We're going to get a new suspension at some point. Not right now. At some point, we will get a new suspension. Alrighty. Now to the tow hitch. Alrighty. So get our little tow hitch right on in there. Make sure we're lined up with where we need to be so it comes out pretty good. And then depending on if I want it over here or over there, we could change up where we put the lock and stuff. So we'll put it on the driver's side and put that right there. So there you go, you can see it attached. Now we grab out our key and we'll take it back out to let you guys be able to see how this works. Alright, so here we go. So, put it in like so. And then, bring our key. Should lock it. Like that. And it is nice and locked. So you see right there. This is the locked in position. Now we're going to unlock it. It's going to come out. We're going to lock it back. So that's where it looks like locked. And it's not attached. Versus what it looks like loose. That's where it should be. And then you lock it back. It ain't coming off. Yeah, it's nice and in there, so that's cool. Alrighty. now we unlock again. There we go. Got a nice key right here, which I can, luckily it comes with 2, so I can have it on 2 different sets, so I have a backup set if I need it, so that's kind of nice. And we will now go and attach it. Alright, so now we just need to get my hands in other places. There we go. So we are unlocked, so you should see right there, plugged in. Should be able to lock it. Nope, didn't lock that time. Okay, pull it out. And it is locked in there. Nice. And then we can cover up the cover right there. It ain't coming off. So there we go. That is that. Alright, so that is that. So there we go. So thanks to all of the things that made today's video possible. You, obviously, thanks for coming along and watching. Thank you to the Pro Lift mat, one of my favorites. You can pick those up on Amazon. Also, Hopkins towing solutions, we got that. Appears to be plugged in all the way. Also, Reese Towpower, and of course the CC, yeah, you get the point, auto hitch receiver, which I will have linked down in the description below. Alrighty guys, so we got old dipstick with all the rust on it, and we got new dipstick from Amazon, and luckily, if I look at that correctly, they are same size. Sweet. So luckily pretty easy to get, so that's really nice. So we're just gonna get this long dipstick into my transmission. Alright, new dipstick installed, and now we don't have a bunch of rusty crusties going on down there, so that's nice. Luckily it reaches all the way down there, so it is the correct length. So nice, we'll link that down in the description below. I like that. Alrighty, and then we got the hinges. Went ahead and did the other one there as well, just to go ahead and get that one coated. Did a little blow off, a little scrapey, and then just cleaned it off. And then here's the other one we were working on. Kind of bumbled up just a little bit, but other than that, looking pretty good. Got it at least coated. Might do another coat at some point, but yeah, there we go. Got that taken care of. So, but anyways, guys, that is it for us. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Headlights bouncing off a dirt road.